would like to start this series, or I don't know what the fuck it is. It's just been on my heart and soul to do for a hot minute, and the universe said, let's do it. So here we are. So this series, or whatever the fuck this is going to end up being, is called Untangled. In some respect, getting untangled, untangling, the untangle, untangled. Okay? Like tangled, but un. So, what I mean when I say untangled and untangling and all that shit is, if you have a moment of an interruption, silence, peace, okay? Non-chaos and non-boredom either, okay? Just right there in that sweet spot of just like hyper-contentment, okay? Or contentment if hyper-contentment doesn't feel real. When you sit in that spot that you kind of want to have a little more often, right? The spot that we're like, I'm too busy, I have too much things going on, I would like some more alone time, or I would like some more quiet time, or blah, blah, blah. We all say these things, right? But how many of us actually move towards getting ourselves that reality? Not very many. So, the process of untangling, okay, is when you get to that spot, that quiet spot, yet there's still, even when you're no chaos, no kids, no yelling, no screaming, no mom this, dad that, da 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 da, okay? There's still this part of you that feels like tight, knotted up, like you can't breathe fully and completely as deeply as you want to. Like this moment could be even more peaceful. There's like this part of you that knows that, like knows it so much that it like throws discontentment all over your life because it knows this so much. You get what I'm saying? I know you get what I'm saying. There's this part of you that yearns to just be free, to just be fluid, to just flow with life and love it and care about it and cry about it and laugh about it and do all the normal things that we're normally supposed to do and enjoy all of them. There's a part of you that knows that that is true and reality and possible for you to a very large degree, which is why it seems like every goddamn thing you fucking do in this life just isn't good enough. It's not going to fill that void. It's not gonna fulfill that contentment. You search for it over here in God and Jesus, and you search for it over here in Satan, and you search for it over here in the meaninglessness of life, and you search for it over here in people, and you search for it over here in money. You search for it over here in sex and food and gambling and drugs and joy and happiness and sorrow and grief, and we search for it in all these fucking places, okay? And yet the same message keeps getting thrown in our fucking face. Sorry for the spinach. The same message keeps getting thrown in our face, and so often we're like, okay, but what? It's all inside you. Okay, but what am I supposed to do with that? So, all of that is true. The and, the all. Okay? It's all true. Yes, there is a more peaceful state of being out there. Yes, there is a way for you to feel contented even if you're picking up trash on the side of the road. There's a way. Not even contented, okay? Though, remember when I said hyper contentment? There's a way for you to be at such satisfying peace within your life that you could die at the very moment and never come back to this life or any other life and never experience anything ever again. and you would be so satisfied and grateful and joyous and in love with life. There is a way for you to feel like that in the middle of you doing dishes, in the middle of you picking up trash off the side of the road, in the middle of you going to visit the nursing home, in the middle of you going to work, in the middle of your boss yelling at you, in the middle of your kids screaming at you, in the middle of your husband not listening to you, in the middle of your wife fucking hammering the same goddamn thing that you didn't want to hear 5 times ago in your head. These are all jokes, guys, okay? They're just examples, real life examples, because even though I joke and kid, haha, but I'm serious. There's a way for you to feel like that. And the way for you to feel like that is to untangle. Because, and you can give it a multitude of names. People call it asthma. People call it anxiety. People call it depression. People call it stress. People call it trauma. People call it lots of things, okay? But all of it is essentially tied up together and sitting on top of this big ball of juicy light that you have inside of you. And we don't feel content and satisfied and joyous and peaceful and happy and loved with our life. Do you feel in love with your life? Every single moment of it. I'm not joking. Every single moment of it. Do you feel that way? Probably not. I don't know a single fucking person. I can even sit here and say I am the only person I know who feels that way the majority of the time, but I still don't feel that way 100% of the time. I don't know a single person who does. There might be people out there, but what I'm saying to you is the more you untangle, the more you can breathe and enjoy and experience and love life. So the untangling process is the process that everybody tries to get us to do, okay? All of these people are telling us, go heal your inner child, go parent your inner child, go heal your trauma wounds, your emotional wounds, your spiritual wounds, your physical wounds, go heal the abuse that you went through, go heal this, go heal that, go heal all the things, okay? Really all they're saying is untangle. That's all it is. Now that's oversimplified. There's a lot of layers to it. It takes a lot of motherfucking time. That's why we're here. Not why we're here, but that's a reason as to what we could be doing while we're here. Why we're here, okay? While we're here. Why? We're here. Is to untangle. Because when you go through the process of life, while you untangle, you literally get to witness, and I know that there's tiny parts and pieces that you've probably experienced of this joy, okay? And you might not have even called it joy at that point. And maybe that's not the word for it, but that's the word I'm going to call it at this moment. There's tiny parts and pieces of you that, like, when you let something go, or when something doesn't bother you in the way that it did anymore, or you've had this increase in just awareness and perception of like, oh, that's why I needed to do that, or whatever. Okay, the mirage, the zillions and gazillions of ways. You've experienced a moment where you got untangled a little bit, and you could breathe a little bit deeper, and you felt a little bit lighter, and there was a smile like more readily available on your face, and your heart like took a pause and was like, oh, okay, God, thank you for the deep breath, thank you. Oh my God, it all okay, everything is connected, people. Like, even the words that we say, even all these little random ass sayings that go around the world, everything is so connected. Because, oh my God, even when you sit here and say, can't I just catch a break? When you get untangled a tiny bit and you feel that way of like, that was your break. That was you catching a break. God, it's so fucking juicy and aligned and yummy. Okay. So, Alex, this is great and all. We're tangled up. How the fuck do we get untangled? Hi. Hello. So, I can't sit here and tell you how to get untangled, because that's not what the purpose of all of this mirage of videos is. It is the process of me untangling myself and you all getting to witness, because that is how we learn. That's how we truly learn. I can't sit here and tell you the step-by-step process of what you're supposed to do, because guess what? I didn't have the same trauma that you did. I didn't have the same emotional voids. I didn't have the same physical disturbances. I didn't have the same stuff. I cannot tell you what to do. I can show you. That's what I'm saying, things, okay? They're connected. It's all connected, okay? Oh my God, it's so connected. It's insane. What I can tell you, here's your step one. If you want a step one, keep going back to this step one. This is the only step that you actually need. I might edit that later. But this is the only step that you need at this moment right now that I can think of off the top of my head. Is when you get those moments of time where you are alone, where you are silent, where you aren't listening to music or watching TV or trying to fill a void with some whatever, and you're literally just chilling, content, like I'm good, okay? And maybe not good, but I'm okay, I'm fine, I'm whatever, okay? In those moments, do not run from the uncomfortableness of your tangledness, because the only way to untangle, and let's give this a literal description, because this is literally what you're doing energetically. You can't come to a tangled necklace, and maybe not everybody understands this analogy, but use a rope, a tie, a knot, a whatever, okay? You cannot come to a tangled necklace and try to rip the tangles out. You will break it. You rip the rope, you will hurt your hand. You will do something other than what your goal is. To go in and untangle a necklace, a rope, a knot, a tie, whatever, you have to literally get into it. Get in the presence of it. Have patience with it. Experience the entire process of each movement of your hand and untangling, and the process that your brain has to go through to figure out which loop goes which way and this and there. Like, you get what I'm saying? That is what you do. So when you have those moments where you have the opportunity and you are ready to, and not ready as in I'm ready, but ready as in like, okay, let's try this out, let's experiment with this. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, but I'm ready. Like, I want to do this. I'm done with what I've been doing. Sit in that moment, okay, and energetically untangle. So the thoughts that come up, the feelings that come up, the memories that come up, the sensations in your body that come up, the yearnings that come up, the desires that come up, they have to unfurl, they have to untangle themselves. And if you keep saying, okay, yes, I know, I know this thought needs to come out and stuff, but I don't like it and it makes me feel weird and I don't want to think about that because that was triggering and blah, blah, blah. Okay, then you're going to stay tangled. That's it, that's all. I don't know what to tell you. Because if you don't honor that tangle, if you don't honor that knot, if you don't honor that experience, it will not honor you. That's some asshole shit that I just said, okay? And it's very oversimplified and can be poked in and around in all the holes, okay? However, that's pretty much the gist of it. You have to honor each experience, and most of the time, we weren't aware and we weren't ready to honor each experience. When you were little and you were 5 and you saw something crazy between your parents happen, or you saw something crazy or something crazy happen to you or whatever, I guarantee you when you were 5, you did not have the cognitive ability nor awareness nor the stamina, and your body and soul knew that shit, to experience that moment in its full totality. You just didn't. So you carried it with you. And that's the parts that got layered on top, layered on top, layered on top. That's the shit that people talk about. Heal your inner child. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, well, maybe your inner child is 90 layers deep and you have to go do some other things first. Maybe your fucking abuse history is almost at the center of your core and it's like one of your last layers and you got to do some fucking, heal your mom work or something first. What I'm saying is nobody can sit here and give you a step-by-step process on how to become free and whole and love yourself and complete and just all of that, which is why there's so many options out there, because so many things work for so many people, because everything works differently for everyone. Even the person who's following the step-by-step plan from this person is not going to get the same results. So what I'm going to do is give you the basic gist of how to sit with yourself long enough to figure out what your step is. What is your step? Is your step to go, blah, blah, blah? I don't know. But you will know when you stop stopping yourself. Stop stopping yourself. Get out of your own way. You know the sayings that we say, okay? All of them have some truth in them, even the craziest fucking ones. And all of them have some lie in them, even the truest fucking ones, okay? So it's not about lies and truths and all this stuff, because everything is truth and everything is lie if we all get down to the gist and nitty gritty of the shitty, okay? It is the in-between. It is the and. It is the part where you can sit down, have a silent moment, and also feel the pain that you felt when you were 10 years old and your boyfriend told you that you were a fat, ugly bitch. I don't say that as a joke. I'm saying that for real. There's a part of you that is able to be fully content and joyous and loving, so in love with life, and also relive that experience in its full capacity and honor it. Because guess what it's going to do? I swear. Guess what it'll do? We'll sit there, feel really heavy and uncomfortable and sad and sorrowful. And the more you honor it and say, oh my God, wow, I can't believe we experienced that. No, don't say that actually. Because you can believe it, because it happened. See, even gotta catch myself too. Oh wow, we experienced that. That was real. That happened. I felt like this about it. This is hard. I'm sad. I feel betrayed. I feel broken. I feel sorrowful. And I know that I'm not broken. And I know that, whatever process you have to go through, because the thing is, you don't want to lie to yourself and say, I'm good, I'm over this didn't hurt me, but it still does, right? You don't want to lie to yourself. And then you also don't want to drive it into the ground for the sole purpose of you feeling like, I felt the experience. It's this nice middle ground of allowance and letting go, right? So you scoop the moment up and you allow it to sit, and then you allow it to fly away. It is a bird's eye view of parenting every single experience that comes into your experience, right? They all have to leave the nest at some point. They can't leave the nest. They can't leave the nest until you feed them and pay attention to them, and have them as yours. Have them as your own. Take them in as your child. Take them in as your love. Take them in as you, as your baby, a part of you. And it doesn't need to be a part of you that's told to everybody oh yeah, I got abused when I was 6. No. Nobody has to know that. That doesn't have to be a part of the story that you tell people. But it is a part of your story and of your journey and of your healing and of your life. So it's about allowing it to be the experience that it was for you. And then I promise it will shift itself. It doesn't mean it will shift itself out like it didn't happen and it will erase itself. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying it will shift itself. You'll gain another perspective about it. You will be able to see it from a different point of view. You'll be able to say, oh wow, so his mom used to really be mean to him and said those things about herself, so then he interpreted that's what women are and what women want, and so then when I became his girlfriend and I didn't do something that he, or whatever the thought process, it's a whole journey and experience, and I can't sit here and tell you what's the right or wrong way to think and what's the right or wrong way to do anything. I just sit in the uncomfortableness of your tangles. 2, stick your fingers into the tangles with loving awareness and allow yourself to be guided on which knots to untangle. And allow that to happen. Don't try to re-knot it because you want to keep it. Don't try to throw it down the drain because you don't want it. It's a part of yours. It just has to untangle, because if it's all tangled up in a ball, then it's hard to see what's underneath. It's hard to get things through there. It's hard to even live through any of the experiences that you have now, because so many of them are pulling on you in a whole ball, right? When you untangle, it can be like a lined up logical order. It can make a grid. It can make a pattern. It can make a fucking picture. That's why they say art imitates life and life imitates art and things like that. This is what I'm saying. Everything is connected. All of the little sayings and things, okay? You can paint a picture, a beautiful picture with your life, but in order to do that, you have to get your canvas ready and untangled and not have a bunch of knots all over it and, whatever. So this is going to be my journey of untangling, and I've done a fair fucking amount, a decade's worth of untangling already so far. So I apologize that I'm just now starting this, because there would have been some really, really good moments of untangling that would have been good to share. And maybe as I go through this, those will be called forward to untangle in front of you, but maybe not on such a deep scale where I'm energetically untangling, but I can logically untangle it for you, and that might help a little bit sometimes. So anyway, all in all, you're doing just fine. You're doing wonderfully. You're doing exactly what you're supposed to be doing to get you where you're supposed to be going. Now, if you would like to change that in any type of way, you you have to make a conscious decision to do so, right? And in order to do that, you kind of got to go back to square one and untangle so that you can have a solid foundation. When you try to build on top of a tangle, you're going to fall into a tangle, fall into a hole, fall into whatever. You're going to get stuck and trapped. You're going to still not feel satisfied. You know, it's just not, I'm just going to say it because I sometimes censor truth because I don't want to be mean, because I'm an overly considerate person, and that's a thing that I'm working on within myself, because yes, I want to be a considerate person, but I don't want to be overly considerate to the point that I don't consider myself and I censor myself. So if you want your fucking dream life, you're going to have to start doing shit different. If you want the fucking awesome ass life where you feel inner peace as you live out inner peace, and you feel fucking love as you live out love, and you feel joy and prosperity and wealth as you live out joy and prosperity and wealth, then you're gonna have to do some goddamn shit different, because that's not what the fuck you've got right now based on what you've been doing, is it? No, it's not, because you wouldn't even be here if it was. I wouldn't even fucking be here if it was. Not potentially be here in life, but maybe even that too. I'm just saying on this video. Yeah. Untangle. Take yourself back to square one. There will be times when you go through the process of untangling yourself where you feel like you've went 50 steps backwards, but I promise you that is because you are in the position of a bow and arrow now. You're not in the position of going backwards like you're sinking into quicksand, or like you're literally going backwards and you are losing all of the progress that you made in life or anything. You're going backwards as in you're becoming an arrow, like it's gonna be shot forward so fucking far. So I promise, yes, there will be times where it feels like, this is awful, this is making my life worse, this is terrible, blah, 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 I've went 50 steps backwards, what the fuck was this bitch talking about, blah, 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 what the fuck am I talking about, why is this shit happening, blah, 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 blah. And then, as soon as you've made peace with, okay, well, I guess this is now my fucking goddamn reality, it will do what? It will do what? Like if I just allow it, it will do what? It will shift. Then you'll be shot forward so fucking far. And it'll keep doing that. It'll keep doing that. Like, the better it gets, the better it gets. It'll keep doing that. Okay? That's the pattern it's going to go through. It's got to get worse before it gets better. You know, all those little sayings. Did I mention things are connected? So, it is worth going through the process of untangling yourself so that you can have a solid foundation to build your dream life off of and actually be able to achieve it. I'm sorry, people. I really am going. My car's not moving that fast. Anyway, that was all. Love you all.